Imagine a little town in America where the Johnson family calls home. There's Mom, Lisa, forever juggling laundry and her coffee mug. Dad, Mike, who lives for his weekend grill-outs. And their two kids, Jake and Emily, who've got more energy than a double espresso shot. They're tucked into this snug house on Maple Street, where life's pretty quiet, until one rainy day shakes things up big time. Rain's coming down hard outside, like someone's dumping buckets from the sky, turning the street into a mess of puddles and mini streams. Jake and Emily are trapped indoors, going stir-crazy, their faces practically glued to the window. That's when Emily's eyes catch something, a tiny, drenched lump shivering under a bush across the way. "Jake, check it out. Is that a dog?" she shouts, fogging up the glass. Jake leans in, nods fast, and says, "It's a puppy. We've got to rescue it." Lisa doesn't even get a chance to yell "stay dry" before the kids are shoving on rain boots and charging outside, splashing like they're in some epic adventure flick. Mike's in the kitchen, flipping through a sports mag, when he hears the racket and sticks his head out. "What's all this?" he calls, but the kids are already halfway across the street, crouched by the bush. Lisa steps up beside him, arms crossed, grumbling. They'd better not drag in a disaster. When the kids get close, they see it's just this little ball of wet fur, trembling and looking up at them with big, sad eyes. Emily scoops it up, cradling it like a baby, while Jake's grinning ear to ear. "We're keeping it, right?" he says, more statement than question. They hustle back across the street, dripping and giggling, holding the puppy like it's treasure. Lisa and Mike meet them at the door, and Lisa's already softening. Those puppy eyes are lethal. "Fine," she sighs, "but you're cleaning up after it." They name him Buddy right there, still dripping on the welcome mat. No clue what they're in for. Life with Buddy starts out pretty normal for the Johnsons. He's this tiny little guy at first, all floppy ears and clumsy paws, tumbling around the living room like he owns the place. Jake and Emily are obsessed, feeding him scraps under the table and arguing over who gets to hold him next. Lisa's just happy he's house-trained quick, and Mike figures he's got a new buddy for his backyard hangouts. They're all thinking, yeah, this dog thing's gonna be a breeze. But then Buddy starts growing, fast. Like, way faster than any dog they've ever seen. A couple months in, he's not fitting in his little pet store bed anymore. It's like a dollhouse prop next to him. Lisa notices his food bowl's empty 5 minutes after she fills it, and she's hauling bigger bags of kibble home every week. "Is this normal?" she asks Mike one night, eyeing Buddy sprawled across half the couch. Mike shrugs, scratching his head. Maybe he's just a big breed or something. Pretty soon, Buddy's towering over every dog in the neighborhood. The golden retriever down the street? Buddy's got him beat by a foot. The pit bull at the park? Looks like a teddy bear next to him. Jake and Emily start bragging to their friends. "Our dog's basically a superhero." They even nickname him Super Dog, laughing as he barrels through the backyard, tail wagging like a wrecking ball. Neighbors walking their own pups stop and stare, jaws dropping, muttering stuff like, "What are they feeding that thing?" It's not all fun and games, though. His old toys are toast. He chews through tennis balls in a day, and the squeaky bone? History. Lisa's starting to wonder where this is headed, especially when Buddy jumps up to greet her and nearly knocks her flat. He's a sweetheart, she tells herself, brushing dog hair off her jeans. But man, he's getting huge. Mike's still chill about it, saying, he'll level off soon, right? Meanwhile, the kids are loving every second, oblivious to the fact that Buddy's outgrowing their little world faster than they can keep up. By now, Buddy's not just big, he's gigantic, like holy cow, is that a horse? Gigantic. The Johnsons are staring at this dog who's practically eye level with the kitchen counter, and it's starting to sink in that their little puppy's turned into something else entirely. He's pushing the size of a small pony, and the family's cozy house on Maple Street, it's feeling a lot less cozy with Buddy lumbering around. Things start getting tricky. One morning, Buddy wags his tail. Boom. The coffee table's toast, legs snapped like twigs. Jake thinks it's hilarious, but Lisa's like, not funny, kid. We're running out of furniture. Then there's the car situation. They used to pile Buddy in the back of the SUV for trips to the park, but now? his head smushed against the roof, and his paws take up the whole seat. Mike tries once, ends up with a drooling Buddy half on his lap, and mutters, "Yeah, we're walking from now on." The neighbors aren't thrilled either. Buddy's got this deep, booming bark that rattles windows, and every time a delivery guy rolls up, it's like a foghorn going off. Old Mrs. Carter next door starts leaving polite but not really notes about noise concerns. Lisa's apologizing left and right, saying, "He's just excited, you know." But deep down, she's wondering how long they can keep this up. Feeding him's another headache. Those giant bags of kibble barely last a week, and the grocery bill's looking more like a car payment. Still, the Johnsons can't help but love the big goof. He's got those same sweet eyes from day one, and when he flops down for belly rubs, it's like a furry earthquake of affection. So, they get creative. Mike grabs his tools and builds a massive doghouse out back, big enough for Buddy to stretch out in. It's a beast of a thing, practically a shed, and the kids paint it bright blue with Buddy's pad and sloppy letters. It works mostly. Buddy's happy, the family's adapting, and they figure they've got this under control, until the world finds out about their oversized mutt. Hey there, awesome people. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. It means the world to me. Just a quick heads up before you dive into the fun. Everything here is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a pro at, well, anything. Just a regular person sharing stories, ideas, and whatever else pops into my head. Don't take anything I say as expert advice, especially on stuff like money, health, or life decisions. Go chat with a real pro for that. Content's all original or credited if it's not, but opinions are mine alone and not tied to anyone else. By subscribing, you're just here to hang out and enjoy. No fancy contracts, just good times. Cool. Awesome, let's roll. Things are chugging along with Buddy and the Johnsons until one random Saturday flips the script. Jake's out back, snapping pics of Buddy sprawled across the yard like a furry mountain, and he posts one on his Instagram with the caption, "My dog's bigger than yours." He's just messing around, showing off to his buddies, but overnight, that pic blows up. Likes, shares, comments, it's everywhere. By morning, Lisa's phone's buzzing with texts from friends. "Is that your dog?" Word spreads fast, and next thing you know, a local news van's parked on Maple Street. Some perky reporters knocking on the door, asking, "Can we meet Buddy?" Mike's scratching his head, still in his pajama pants, but the kids are hyped, dragging Buddy out front. The camera guy's eyes pop. He's never seen anything like this. Buddy's wagging his tail, knocking over a lawn chair, and the segment airs that night. Meet America's giant dog. Suddenly, the Johnsons are famous, or at least Buddy is. It doesn't stop there. People start showing up, random folks with selfie sticks, gawking from the sidewalk. Emily's loving it, waving like a celeb, but Lisa's muttering, "This is nuts." Then the big leagues roll in. Guinness World Records sends a team with measuring tapes and clipboards. They clock Buddy at a jaw-dropping height and weight, and boom, he's crowned America's biggest dog. They hand the family a shiny certificate, and Mike's grinning like he just won the Super Bowl. Tourists keep coming, though, and it's a mixed bag. The kids think it's cool, selling lemonade to the crowds, but Mrs. Carter's leaving sharper notes now. "Control your circus." Lisa and Mike are proud. Buddy's a star, after all, but they're also tired. Feeding him's a fortune. The yard's a mess from all the foot traffic, and they can't grill in peace anymore. Still, when they see Buddy's goofy face on TV, they can't help but laugh. Their little rescue's a legend now, and they're along for the ride, whether they're ready or not. Life's a whirlwind for the Johnsons now, with Buddy as the biggest dog in America, but they're figuring it out. The crowds eventually thin out. People move on to the next viral thing, and the street gets quiet again. Mrs. Carter even stops with the notes, mostly because Buddy's learned to nap through delivery trucks instead of barking the neighborhood awake. The family's settled into this new normal, and Buddy? He's still the same gentle giant they fell for, just a heck of a lot bigger. Challenges don't vanish, though. Feeding him's still like funding a small army. Lisa jokes they should have bought stock in the kibble company. The doghouse holds up, but the backyard's a crater from Buddy's romps, and Mike's given up on a perfect lawn. Car trips? Forget it. They walk everywhere, Buddy lumbering alongside like a furry parade float. Yet, None of that phases them much. He's family, quirks and all, and they wouldn't trade him for anything. One sunny afternoon, it hits them how far they've come. Jake and Emily are out back, tossing a frisbee. Well, trying to. Buddy snags it midair and flops down, chewing it to bits. Lisa's on the porch with her coffee, watching, while Mike fires up the grill nearby. The kids are laughing, covered in grass stains, and Buddy's rolling around like a big, happy bear. Lisa looks at Mike and says, "Can you believe this all started with that soggy little pup?" Mike chuckles, flipping a burger. "Nope. Best mess we ever got into." They sit there, soaking it in, Buddy sprawled out, the kids shouting his name, the smell of charcoal in the air. It's chaotic, sure, but it's theirs. That tiny, trembling ball of fur they scooped up on a rainy day turned their world upside down, and they love him for it. As the sun dips low, casting long shadows across the yard, Buddy lets out a big, goofy yawn, and the Johnsons just grin. Life's bigger with Buddy, literally, and they wouldn't have it any other way.